Hey everybody, it's Eddie J on crypto for growmybag.tv. I hope you're having a good one. So there's a lot of news out there right now. A lot of news. As stocks are pulling back, you want to know something that's funny? People are looking at Bitcoin as a safe haven. That's right. I had been thinking that for a while, but literally, I get up in the morning, I turn on the television, I listen to CNBC a little bit, and literally somebody said Bitcoin is being seen as a safe haven. I think it was Becky Quick. And I just sat there and I was like, wow, wow. So all those people that are out there saying that, oh, Bitcoin's not worth anything, it's nothing, it's fake, it's air. Um, I don't think so. Ask the German government. They made a few billion dumping Bitcoin. I think that the facts are playing out, right? What else is going on? So what I find to be interesting is people are still talking about the 12,000 Bitcoin that was moved by Genesis. Now, here's my take on that. Genesis is not a government agency, and their parent company, Digital Currency Group, needs the money. Genesis needs the money. So they're going to sell at the best rate possible. What does that mean? That means that rate is probably not going to be coming from the open market, right? Because we've already witnessed what happens when you dump a lot of Bitcoin onto the open market. Price starts here, price ends there, and your average price also decreases. So, what will most likely happen? Most likely, they will negotiate an OTC deal for the bulk, if not all, of the Bitcoin they have and sell it that way. Because again, it's not in their best interest to dump the Bitcoin on the open market. So I would not be paying attention to that FUD because that's what I think that is. I think everybody out there talking about, oh, they're gonna dump, they're gonna dump. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so. That would look incredibly bad, and not just for Genesis. It would bubble up to their parent company, which is Digital Currency Group, and they've got enough troubles, and they don't need that kind of noise. So, as my kids say, they don't want that smoke. What else is going on? Chainlink's, co-creator Sergey Nazarov says that tokenization of real-world assets is the next big frontier. He's not wrong. Not only is it the next big frontier, but he expects that space to outpace the value of cryptocurrencies themselves. That's interesting. So I'm just sitting here and I'm just listening to all this, and I'm just like, because I know what he means, and I'm like, yeah, no, he's right. The value, because he's talking about the value of the assets that are going to be tokenized. That's what he's talking about, right? And you're talking about billions, if not trillions of dollars worth of assets that can be tokenized, and that would be greater than the cryptocurrency market. And that would also mean that that's coming like now, and it's coming with a fury. There's a ton of stuff going on right now, and I think we should be paying attention to it. So if you're taking in news, I want you to start paying attention to what can actually happen, what is happening. Start connecting those dots, because he's right. Real world assets and the tokenization of those real world assets is going to be huge, huger than huge, right? Which means that crypto is going to grow. And there's an idea that I have. I'm probably going to talk about it a little bit more tonight. And it's, will crypto ever have another crypto winter? Maybe that should be tonight's poll. Let me know. Drop a note and let me know if that should be tonight's poll. Because I have some thoughts on that. Again, I'll go over it tonight in the 8 p.m. show. But I have some serious thoughts on that. What else is going on? The SEC has lost their minds. They're saying that because of the original offering, right, for Luna, MATIC, Sand, Chili's, Mana, and others, that they're securities. You're going back pretty far. So now my question is going to be, well, are they securities now? Right? Because when they weren't decentralized back in the day, when they probably started, it was an ICO, so it was most likely a security, right? Even if that was true, are they decentralized enough now that they're not securities and you're trying to prosecute the past? And to me, I think that's highly possible that that's exactly what the SEC is doing. So when I look at the SEC now, I'm saying the SEC is hitting back because the CFTC has stepped up. And so the SEC is still trying to claim some ground. But I honestly think, well, that could have been true in the past. Are you trying to run a court case based on the past? And that's where the problem comes in. That's really where the problem comes in. If these coins and tokens are, decentralized enough now, that could be a hard case to prove, a very hard case to prove, right? And I'm also interested to find out, well, what does the CFTC say now that they're saying that 70 to 80% of the coins out there are not securities? Yeah. Can you smell a fight brewing? Because I can smell a fight brewing. I can definitely smell a fight brewing. That's the way I'm looking at it, right? And then I turn to a former FTX executive. This guy, what's his name? Let me look at my notes. Ryan Salame. He's saying that Silvergate knew of some suspicious transactions. Like they knew of it. And it was tied to FTX and Alameda. And I bring this up because things don't necessarily happen in a vacuum, and most likely they don't. So if FTX messed up, it's highly possible that Silvergate messed up. And I bring this to your attention because you should start to understand, and not just in this instance, it's not just about, what banks are doing business. No, I'm just talking in general. If you're looking at a project, you need to understand who else is that project doing business with, right? What vendors are they using? What partners do they have? Because that might actually wind up telling you a lot, right? So I'm paying attention to that, not because of FTX and Silvergate. That's back there. I'm only paying attention to it as I look forward to see, are there any opportunities for collusion or anything like that? And if there are, then I need to pay attention and maybe get out of that situation, get out of that risk exposure, because that's what it is, right? And back to AI, I've been talking about it for a while. There's a lot of deep fakes when it comes to AI. I told you about how there were deep fakes used to, animate Warren Buffett and Mike Saylor, just a whole bunch of people saying that, we've got this going on. We're giving away Bitcoin, blah, blah, blah. Are you freaking serious? But there are a lot of deep fakes going on that are calling for that are saying that, and obviously not true. Sorry about that. This huge, huge bird. I think it was a hawk that flew by. The wingspan was ridiculous. It had to be at least 6 feet on that wingspan. I like nature. So when I look at that, people are starting to warn you, hey, on the way up, you're going to see more deep fakes. You're going to hear about more scams. And they're all going to sound real. Go find corroborating evidence so that you can understand if it's real. If you're looking at something and Michael Saylor says he's giving away Bitcoin, what are the chances of that being true? Yeah, because that man is never going to give away Bitcoin. Maybe to his kids, but even then, they might have to mow the lawn a lot to get that. So pay attention to what's out there. AI is coming on, and it's creating like a major, major problem. A major problem. It's going to get worse before it gets better. So be aware of what's going on. Wirex and Visa are getting deeper into bed together to make some offerings in Europe. And I'm in Europe and the UK. And I'm like, that's going to be interesting. We were just talking about this the other day, where you'll be able to tie your crypto through Wirex, through Visa, so that you can use your digital assets in the real world. Okay. All right. But you're probably going to start to see how, people are going to start saying, "Oh, this company accepts crypto now." They don't. They don't. They accept the same credit cards that they did before, and those credit card companies cut a deal so that you can use your digital assets in their stores. And I want you to stop and think about this. I've been talking about how my hosting company, Rebel Reach, hosts e-commerce sites, and we offer PayPal, credit card, and crypto transactions. Here's the thing, though. That is retailer specific, meaning the retailer is making the decision of, hey, we're going to do this. If retailers don't pay attention, they might lose that opportunity to say that if these credit card companies are already giving, a specific, way of doing business, meaning people are going to use their credit cards, they're going to feel like it's a crypto transaction, and they'll continue doing that. So it would affect the end user's experience if now the retailer comes along and says, "Oh no, you could just pay with crypto. Whip out your phone and boop boop, hit that QR code, and you'll be fine." See what I mean? So that user experience can be negatively affected, and it might make it harder for retailers to get there. So if you are a retailer, you might want to get there sooner rather than later. Definitely. And we can help you with that if you want. But I'm just saying, I think it's better to go direct with the retailers, because at the end of the day, that's when you actually will see a change in the retail environment, right? Because then they won't have to pay that, sometimes as high as 3.9% of their sale to this company just for their elongated, settlements transactions. And if you listen to what I've been saying, settlements are going to start to happen via crypto. That's what a lot of banks are moving toward. So credit card companies are really starting to rethink, like, oh my God, what business are we in now? How do we fit in? And they're trying to figure it out. And this is one of the ways that they're figuring out. So if you own a store or you own a business and you accept credit cards, you might want to consider accepting crypto directly. Introduce that user experience now. Be in control of that narrative. Just saying. Because this Wirex and Visa deal, Visa's out there cutting deals all over the place because they want to remain relevant. Because they can easily see how their business can go away. In the crypto world, their business can go away quick, right? So I'm paying attention to this stuff like that. Now, Sam Mo, he's a big time Bitcoin advocate, and he's saying, listen, we're probably never going to see $60,000 again. It was a fluke, it was an anomaly. Germany had their thing going on. He says we might not ever see that again. Now, I think 60 is a little too soon because we're only at 62 right now, right? And I'm thinking, yeah. But the fact is that we're starting to rise. We're starting to do that whole stair step that I was telling you about yesterday, during yesterday's show. If you missed it, I'm sorry you missed it. But yesterday I started talking about how I think that we're going to stair step up a little bit until we have huge rises up. And with that, I think that, once we hit the new all-time high of 73,750, once we surpass that, yeah, I'm going to agree that we probably won't see 60 again. I probably won't see that number again because, the highs that we're talking about right now are going to bring higher lows. So we're going to have higher highs and higher lows. And I think above 60 could be that higher low. But again, I go back to, do you think that there will be another crypto winter? And I'm not playing. That's not a frivolous question. I'm going to bring up that poll tonight where everybody will be able to vote, and we'll have a nice conversation about it, because I think it is highly possible that we don't. And I can tell you the story about how, and you'll hear that tonight on the 8 p.m. show, because I think that's a very big deal. Something else that I'm paying attention to. Larry Fink is going to be on CNBC at 9 a.m. And he's got a lot to talk about. When I say that man's got a lot to talk about, he's gonna be up there talking about the stock market, and he will definitely be talking about crypto. And I'll be interested to see what he has to say and how that's going to move the markets. I think it's going to be positive because I happened to look at IBIT today, and this morning it was up like $2 and change to like 35 and change. I'm sitting there and I'm kind of going, a lot of people are going to buy in on that $35. A lot of people are going to buy in on that, right? Because again, people want to be involved in crypto but don't have the time to learn about crypto. And they really should take the time to learn about crypto. And I've been saying this for a while, especially women. And the reason why, I've been telling people as much as I can, as often as I can. You want to know who controls the purse strings in the house? The woman. That's who rules everything. So when I sit back, I kind of go, I wish more women would learn about crypto. Because that's the future. It's not even the future. That's what it is now. And I think more women and just people in general, just couples, I think should be sitting down and going over this. I think parents should be getting their kids involved, learning about it. Not sure about how to get started? Buy my book, Crypto Foundations for Building Multi-Generational Wealth. Go buy it. It's chock full of information and foundational knowledge that you need to be in the game. And really, I think women should be way more involved. Now, on the tech side, I see a lot more women getting involved. But that ratio of women to men is still small. My own viewership, my own subscribers right now, my members, there are more men than women. And I'm talking like 95% are men. 95%. I'd like to see that change. So if you can help me, tell your friends, come subscribe. The shows aren't all that long and they're very interesting and they will help people understand how crypto goes. Now, one of the reasons why I bring this up is because you're going to see a lot of people out there talking about Bitcoin this and Bitcoin that, and it's going up and it's going up and it's going up. Everybody is a rock star when things are going well. But how many of those rock stars were around when Bitcoin wasn't doing well? Very few. Very few. How many of those rock stars were giving you or helping you develop tool sets to manage your digital assets during a bad time? Very few. Very few. But that's what we do at growmybag.tv. We're a community that's trying to help each other do well in good times and in bad. You're not always going to make money, but you can definitely mitigate how much money you lose. Smart moves can protect your money. So tune in. 8 p.m. during the week, it's a live. Every morning, we do a pre-record, and that might change to live as well, just trying to get the schedule down. It's tough. Anyway, this is Eddie J on crypto for growmybag.tv. Don't forget to tune in tonight. And don't forget to hit the like and subscribe. Have a good one. Bye-bye.